Hello there, and welcome to ZeroXP. Usually you're probably tuning into us for our Fable coverage, which we are taking a slight hiatus for as we prepare for Season 2. We hope to bring this new series to you twice a month, each month, as we take a look at the upcoming and then the reflection on Game Pass games hitting the service. I'm John, and while usually I'd be sitting here with the unstoppable force behind our show, Patrick, he is going to be putting the video together for us, and you get me running solo. Let's hope that's not the norm. So before we get started, I wanted to note that there are going to be a few honorable mentions, just because we haven't covered July, and there were a few games that hit the service right at the end of the month. And then we'll get into August and cover everything that we know of that's coming out day one on Game Pass. So let's run through the end of July here real quick. First up, we have July 27th. Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to be hitting the Xbox Series. We know this game has previously been launched on the PC, and it's quite remarkable, even putting task to some of the better PCs out there. It's going to be incredible to see what they're able to do with the Microsoft Series, as it's quite tasking being able to recreate almost the entire world at your fingertips in order to fly from point A to point B, or C or D or E or F. I look forward to this one, and we'll probably have some thoughts on it the next time we get back together. After that, on July 29th, we have the Ascent. And if you're not familiar with this one's been getting a lot of good press lately. It's a cyberpunk action RPG. It's played from a top-down perspective. There's looting mechanics, there's character progression, and it's made by an 11-person team, so it's quite remarkable what they've been able to pull off. This is going to be, again, a day one drop on Game Pass, and it looks pretty intense. I think that it's probably going to lend itself to being very co-op friendly, and that's going to be my aim, at least when I give it a go. I look forward to checking this one out. And finally, also on July 29th, we have The Forgotten City. This game was made from a popular Skyrim mod. It is a time-traveling murder mystery in ancient Rome. If you take a look at it, it looks like there's some combat mechanics. There's probably going to be a certain amount of sleuthing and puzzle solving along the way. The original mod definitely had its cult following, so it'll be interesting to see how that fares once it's brought over to the home console. I look forward to that one, and that rounds out July. So with that, let's get into the meat of the episode. First up is August 14th. We have Hades. Now, if you haven't heard of Hades in the last year, you may either be a little more casual, and I'm a little surprised that you're listening to this right now, or you may just not be big on the PC or the Nintendo Switch, which is where the game previously resided. If you aren't aware, it was developed by Supergiant Games and is being published by Private Division. This game brought home all kinds of awards last year. What can be said that hasn't been said already about this game? A better question might be, where do we start when we're talking about this game? It has a 93 out of 100 critic score on Metacritic. It has earned multiple awards for game design and sound, including Game of the Year from the 2021 DICE Game Awards. That's not including multiple awards across different sectors of the industry, as well as award shows and many coverage sites. Hades has you interacting with the world as Zagreus, the prince of the underworld and son of Hades himself. As Zagreus, you will navigate a series of rooms, hacking and slashing your way through room after room of Olympians of the realm. You can expect to die numerous times on your journey, picking up skills and abilities to use on your attempt to escape Hades itself. This game, if you have not seen it, it's a roguelike, and it's kind of a isometrical top-down perspective. It's absolutely stunningly beautiful. The story is supposed to be amazing and in-depth, and it's really something that the more you spend time with, the more you're going to get out of. This game is going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to be discovering for the first time, and it's really going to be something that's rewarding to give back, but may not be for those who get frustrated by games that cause you to repeat steps or follow a combat flow that takes you right back to the beginning of your loop every time you die. If you're not patient, this might not be the one for you, but I say give it a go, because chances are you're going to find something rewarding about it. Next, we have launching also day one on Game Pass, on August 19th, the much anticipated 12 Minutes. This game is being brought to you by developer Luis Antonio, and it's being published by Annapurna Interactive. There currently isn't too much known from a story standpoint, and that's a good thing. What we do know is the game has you watching the events unfold from a top-down perspective over in an apartment of a husband and wife, seemingly settling down for the evening. Eventually, a police officer will knock on your door, and he comes in and accuses your wife of killing his father years earlier. After a struggle, the husband is knocked unconscious, only for his wife to have been murdered. Players will then awaken to the husband at the very start of that same 12 minutes, much akin to a terrible murderous Groundhog Day. It is at this point, when controlling the husband, you will try to use each conversation, scenario, and situation that you use by clicking and pointing your way through the level in an attempt to unravel the mystery that started it all. If you don't figure it out before the 12 minutes is up, you've got 12 more minutes to do it again. They say the game that might take place close to 8 hours. I think that means that there's going to be, of course, multiple run-throughs. I don't know if there will be multiple endings, or if it's just once you reach a certain point, it's up to you to decide if you're satisfied with the outcome. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's been well known for a while that there is a celebrity cast voicing the three characters. It features the voices of Daisy Ridley, James McAvoy, and Willem Dafoe. And let's hope that the game can live up to this lofty expectation that has been set for it. And I guess we'll find out more on August 19th. And finally, coming August 25th, a game that I am looking for probably more so than any other game that I've talked about previously, we have Psychonauts 2 launching. Day and date, day one, on Xbox Game Pass. Originally announced in 2015, Tim Schafer's fantastic-looking psychedelic platformer has had a long road before it finally got its release. From starting on Kickstarter to a publishing deal that was done with Starbreeze and the eventual sale of Double Fine and the publishing rights of Psychonauts 2 to Microsoft, this game has developed quite an elated cult following. Along with Tim Schafer and several members of the original Psychonauts team, many of the original voice cast is back, along with the addition of Double Fine alum Brutal Legends Jack Black, who will be lending a hand to some of the game's soundtrack. If you're not familiar with the original Psychonauts, Psychonauts 2 will follow closely in its predecessor's footsteps, along with a lot of updates and things that have improved the gameplay along the way. Psychonauts 2 is a third-person platformer. You'll join Raz, game's protagonist, using psychic abilities to enter the minds of others, and what follows looks to be a colorful, music-filled landscape with plenty to do and experience. Early impressions of the game seem to be very positive, as it seems to maintain the humor, the character, the hilarious tones, and the darker moments of the original, something that fans have held on to with high anticipation. I personally cannot wait for this game. So as of right now, that's what we know is coming for the month of August. Those are all day one launch day Game Pass games. I'm sure that there's going to be a few surprises along the way, which we hope to cover when we do our next episode, which will drop the last week of August, kind of reviewing the games that came out, how they were received, and what we thought of them ourselves. That's going to wrap things up for us, so if you would like to contact us, you can by finding us on Twitter at ZeroXP Webcast. You can also email us at zeroxppodcast@gmail.com. And of course, you can catch us here on YouTube by searching for ZeroXP. And if you would, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. We'd love to discuss these things with you, see what you're anticipating. And as always, we're down for a very long conversation about all things nerdy, Xbox, Game Pass, and Fable. And until next time, our story has ended. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye.